I think we make a start.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't mind starting.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Cheryl.
Okay. So we're on feeling frequencies.
Yep.
If you can feel it, you can receive it. Everything in the universe is magnetic, and everything has a magnetic frequency. Your feelings and thoughts have magnetic frequencies too. Good feelings mean you're on a positive frequency of love. Bad feelings mean you're on a negative frequency. Whatever you feel, whether good or bad, it determines your frequency, and like a magnet, you attract the people, events, and circumstances that are on the same frequency. If you are feeling enthusiastic, your frequency of enthusiasm will attract enthusiastic people, situations, and events. If you are feeling fearful, your frequency of fear will attract fearful people, situations, events to you. You are never left in any doubt about the frequency you're on because your frequency is always exactly whatever you're feeling. You can change your frequency at any time by changing how you feel, and everything around you will change because you're on a new frequency. You can take any situation in your life, and every possible outcome of that situation can happen. An outcome can happen because you can have any feeling about the situation. A relationship can be on a happy, joyful, exciting, satisfying, and every good feeling frequency. A relationship can also be on a boring, frustrating, worrisome, resentful, depressing, and ever bad feeling frequency. Any outcome of that relationship can happen. And the way you feel determines exactly what will happen in that relationship. Whatever you feel you are giving about the relationship is exactly what you will receive back in the relationship. If you're feeling joyful about the relationship most of the time, you're giving love, and you must receive love and joy back through that relationship because that's the frequency you're on. Change of feeling is a change of destiny. Neville Goddard, New Thought author. Look at the list of feeling frequencies, and you'll see that no matter what the subject in your life, there are many different feeling frequencies. And you determine the outcome of each subject through how you feel about it. You can feel excited, happy, joyful, hopeful, worried, fearful, or depressed about money. You can feel ecstatic, passionate, blissful, discouraged, or anxious about your health. These are all different feeling frequencies, and whatever feeling frequency you're on is what you will receive. You may want to travel, but if you feel disappointment that you don't have money to travel, then on the subject of travel, you are feeling disappointment. Feeling disappointment means you're on the disappointment frequency, and you will continue to receive disappointing circumstances in which you cannot travel until you change the way you feel. The force of love will move every circumstance for you to travel, but you have to be on one of the good feeling frequencies to receive it. When you change the way you feel about a situation, you are giving a different feeling, you're on a different feeling frequency, and the situation must change to mirror your new frequency. If something negative has happened in your life, you can change it. It is never too late because you can always change the way you feel. To receive what you would love, to change anything into what you would love, no matter what the subject, all it takes is changing the way you feel. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla, inventor of the radio and alternating current. Take your feelings off automatic pilot. Many people don't know about the power of good feelings, and so their feelings are reactions or responses to what happens to them. They have put their feelings on automatic pilot instead of deliberately taking charge of them. When something good happens, they feel good. When something bad happens, they feel bad. They don't realize that their feelings are the cause of what is happening to them. As they react with negative feelings to something that has happened, they give out more negative feelings and they receive back more negative feelings. They become trapped in a cycle by their own feelings. Their life goes around and around in circles, not getting anywhere, like a hamster on a wheel. because they don't realize that to change their life, they must change their feeling frequency. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. I don't know how to say his name, Greek philosopher. If you don't have enough money, naturally you don't feel good about money. But the money in your life will never change while you don't feel good about it. If you give out negative feelings about money, you're on a negative frequency about money, and you will receive back negative circumstances, such as big bills or things breaking down, which are all circumstances that drain you of money. When you react with negative feelings to a big bill, you give out more negative feelings about money, which brings even more negative circumstances to you that drain you of more money. Every single second is an opportunity to change your life, because in any moment you can change the way you feel. It doesn't matter what you have felt before. It doesn't matter what mistakes you think you may have made. When you change the way you feel, you are on a different frequency, and the law of attraction responds instantaneously. When you change the way you feel, the past has gone. When you change the way you feel, your life changes. Do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. Neville Goddard, New Thought author. Would someone else like a turn?
I would. Like to.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry,
Okay.
Kathy, I had you muted then. I was trying to unmute you and my button wouldn't work.
Yeah.
You're up next. Sorry about that.
All
That's
right.
okay.
No excuses for forces of love, for the force of love. If your life is not filled with everything you love, it doesn't mean you're not a good and loving person. The life purpose for each of us is to overcome negativity by choosing love. The problem is that most people love and then stop loving hundreds of times in a day. They don't give love long enough for the force of love to move all the good things into their life. Think about it. One moment you give love through a warm hug with a loved one, and then you stop giving love within minutes when you get annoyed because you can't find your keys, or you're delayed in traffic, or you can't find a parking space. You give love when you laugh with a work colleague, and then stop when you get disappointed because the local lunch place has run out of something you want. You give love as you look forward to the weekend, and then you stop when you receive your bills. And so it continues all through the day. And you give love and you stop giving love, give love and stop giving love, give love and stop giving love from one moment to the next. You are either giving love and harnessing the force of love, or you're not. You can't harness the force of love with an excuse about why you didn't love. Excuses and justifying why you didn't love just add more negativity to your life. When you give an excuse as to why you didn't love, you're feeling the same negativity again, and you're giving out more of it. Holding on to anger is like grasping a bought coal with intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one getting burned. What's that name? Gautama Buddha? Gautama Buddha. If you get annoyed because there was a mix-up in an appointment and you blame the other person for a mix-up, you are using blame as your excuse not to give love. But the law of attraction only receives what you are giving. So if you're giving blame, you must receive circumstances of blame back in your life. It won't necessarily come back to you from the person you are blaming, but most assuredly, you will receive circumstances of blame. There are no excuses for the force of love. You get what you give, period. Every little thing is included. Blame, criticism, finding fault, and complaining are all forces of negativity. All of them bring so much strife. When every little complaint and every moment you criticize anything, you are giving negativity. Complaints about the weather, traffic, and the government, your partner, children, parents, long lines, the economy, food, your body, your work, customers, business, prices, noise, or services seem like small, harmless things, but they bring back with them a whole host of negativity. Throw out of your vocabulary words like terrible, horrible, disgusting, and awful, because when you say those words, they come with a strong feeling. When you say them, they must return to you, which means you are putting those labels on your life. Don't you think it would be a good idea to use more words like fantastic, amazing, fabulous, brilliant, and wonderful? You can have whatever you love and want, but you have to harmonize with love. And that means there are no excuses for not giving love. Excuses and justifications prevent you from receiving everything you want. They prevent you from having an amazing life. All that we send into the lives of others comes back into our own. Edwin Markham, poet. You don't make a connection when you complain to a store person, and then a few hours later you receive a call from your neighbor complaining that your dog is barking. You don't make a connection when you meet a friend for lunch and talk negatively about a mutual friend, and you arrive back at work to discover big problems that develop with your major client. You don't make a connection when your dinner conversation is about something negative in the news, and that night you can't sleep because of an upset stomach. You don't make a connection when you stop to help someone who has dropped something in the street, and 10 minutes later you get a parking space right outside the supermarket. You don't make a connection when you happily help your child with their homework, and the next day you receive news that your tax refund will be bigger than you thought. You don't make a connection when you do a favor for a friend, and that same week, your boss gives you 2 complimentary tickets to a sports game. In every circumstance and moment of your life, you are receiving what you have given, whether you make the connection or not. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within. Neville Goddard. Will someone else have a turn?
I can go. The tipping point. If you give more than 50% positive thoughts and feelings instead of negative, you have reached the tipping point. Even if you just give 51% good thoughts and good feelings, you have tipped the scales of your life, and here's the reason why. When you give love, it not only comes back to you as positive circumstances that you love, but as it comes back, it adds even more love and positivity to your life. The new positivity then attracts more positive things, adding even more love and positivity to your life, and so it continues. Everything is magnetic, and when something good comes to you, it magnetically attracts more good things. You may have experienced this when you said you were having a lucky streak or you were on a roll, when one good thing after another happened, and the good things just kept happening. The only reason those times occurred was because you had given out more love than negativity, and as the love returned to you, it added more love to your life, which then attracted even more good things. You may have also experienced the reverse happening when something went wrong and then other things started going wrong, one thing after the other. Those times happened because you gave more negativity than love, and as a negativity returned to you, it added more negativity to your life, and then attracted even more negative things. You may have called those things a run of bad luck, but they have nothing to do with luck at all. The law of attraction was working precisely in your life, and those times, good or bad, were simply a reflection of the percentage of love or negativity you were giving. The only reason the lucky streak or run of bad luck changed is that at some point you tipped the scales the other way with your feelings. It is thus that you may lead a charmed life and be forever protected from all harm. It is thus you may become a positive force whereby conditions of opulence and harmony may be attracted to you. Charles Haanel, New Thought author. To change your life, all you have to do is tip the scales by giving 51% love through your good thoughts and good feelings. Once you reach the tipping point of giving more love than negativity, the love that comes back to you then multiplies itself by attracting more love through the law of attraction. Suddenly you experience an acceleration and multiplication of good things. Instead of more negative things coming back to you and multiplying, you now have more good things coming back to you and being multiplied in every area of your life. And this is the way your life is supposed to be. When you wake up each morning, you are standing at the tipping point of your day. One way tips you into a wonderful day filled with good things, and the other way tips you into a day filled with problems. You are the one who determines what your day will be by the way that you feel. Whatever you're feeling that is what you're giving. And with certainty, that is exactly what you will receive back in your day, surrounding you wherever you go. As you begin your day and you're feeling happy, while you keep feeling happy, your day will be great. But if you begin your day in a bad mood and you do nothing to change it, your day will not be great at all. One day of good feeling not only changes your day, it changes your tomorrow and your life. Provided you maintain your good feelings and you go to sleep feeling good, you begin the next day with a momentum of good feelings. As you continue to feel good as much as you can, your good feelings continue to multiply by the law of attraction, and so it continues day after day, and your life gets better and better. Live today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, just today. Inhabit your moments, don't rent them out to tomorrow. Jerry Spinelli, children's author. So many people don't live for today. They are completely consumed with the future, and yet it is how we live today that creates our future. It is what you feel today that matters because it is the only thing that determines your future. Every day is an opportunity for a new life because every single day you stand at the tipping point of your life. And on any one day you can change the future through the way that you feel. When you tip the balance to good feelings, the force of love will change your life so fast that you will scarcely believe it. Points of power. Everything in the universe is magnetic, and everything has a magnetic frequency, including your thoughts and feelings. Whatever you feel, whether good or bad, determines your frequency, and you attract the people, events, and circumstances that are on the same frequency. Change your frequency at any time by changing how you feel, and everything around you will change because you're on a new frequency. If something negative has happened in your life, you can change it. It is never too late because you can always change the way you feel. Many people put their feelings on automatic pilot. Their feelings are reactions to what happens to them. However, they don't realize that it's their feelings that are the cause of what happens to them. To change anything, whether it's in the circumstances of money, health, relationships, or any subject whatsoever, you have to change the way you feel. Blame, criticism, finding fault, and complaining are all forms of negativity, and all of them bring back nothing but strife. Throw out of your vocabulary words like terrible, horrible, disgusting, and awful. Use more words like fantastic, amazing, fabulous, brilliant, wonderful. Even if you just give 51% good thoughts and good feelings, you have tipped the scales of your life. Every day is an opportunity for a new life. Every day you stand at the tipping point of your life. And on any one day, you can change the future through the way that you feel. The end.
Nice. Thanks, Kathy.
I was going to add the word phenomenal because I know Bob likes to use phenomenal.
Good idea. I
Because
like it.
the word.
So does anyone have any good techniques they use to get themselves into a better feeling place if they find themselves not feeling like they should be or would prefer to be?
Yeah, I have one.
Cool. Let it rip.
Go to your love room. Room of love in your heart. That's the technique. And
Brilliant.
if you cannot reach that, feel grateful. So grateful being grateful is the key to love, the emotion of love. That's it.
Yep.
And,
Very true.
and grateful, one level down from love on the scale.
Yeah.
Gratefulness is just one breath away from love.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty close, aren't they?
They're brothers.
Yeah.
Today was the first day I tried something. When I got up this morning, I thought to myself, what do I want this day to look like? And today was the closest I've come to really feeling excitement, I think, for a long time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I didn't think about, oh, this is what I have to do today. This is the work I have to get done. I just thought, what do I want my day to look like and feel like? And that was way better.
Yeah. Feels so much better, doesn't it?
It really did.
Nicole, another way is also prayer. So when you're before you go to sleep, 5 minutes before you go to sleep, make sure that your vision, so how your ideal life looks like, that is the last thought you have before you go to in deep sleep. And also when you wake up, have that vision again. Think about the first thing. The first thing is not looking at your iPhone or whatever. The first thing is looking into your vision during the day, and the last thing is also looking into your vision before you go to sleep. So those are ways where you at least have a ritual every morning and every evening. Every night you have a ritual to sync to the life you want or your desire. And then during the day, if you feel like uncomfortable, I mean, the feeling will tell you that. If you feel bad, means that you are not in sync with your true self. And if you feel bad, that means that you are creating bad. So the moment you feel bad, you can feel grateful. Again, try to feel grateful about everything you have, and then feel love of everything. So that's what I do. Before I go to sleep, when I wake up, and during the day, if there is a bad emotion.
Yes, and I put signs around me to just remind myself, because I was like trying to do this. I talked to Ronnie this week that about something different, but the technique he showed me about money was something similar, because I'm struggling keeping myself in that mood, in that good mood of love, keeping myself in the room of love. Thanks once more, Ronnie, for this notion from Abraham. And I put lots of signs around myself in the mirror here and there to remind myself, write something on my hand or put something. So that also helps me as a beginner.
That's brilliant.
I don't know if you have any other suggestions, I appreciate.
I think also, Nicole, what I want to say about this chapter is I thought before that it is your emotions are a reaction to what is happening in the world. What I'm learning from this chapter, and also from other books, Law of Attraction, etc., from the teachings of Abraham, is that your emotions are determining what you create. So your emotions are not a reaction, but the emotions are like a way to control what you create. So the emotions, there is power in the emotions. You understand? It's not like, okay, they hate me, so I have to hate them. I'm feeling bad because the world around me is so bad. I'm feeling bad because I do not have money. And what you can do is you can see your emotions like, okay, I'm feeling bad about money, so I have to do something about money. Feeling bad means that you should not feel bad. You should feel good because that's the true self feels good all the time, because you have abundance of everything. So if you're feeling bad, that means that it's an opportunity to switch your emotion to create something new. Because if you keep feeling bad and you keep creating a negative life, you see, you keep attracting everything. So you should, what you could do is use your emotion as a guidance to say, okay, wait, this is a bad emotion. It's not love. So how can I change it? Understand? See it. Don't see it as a bad thing. See it as an opportunity. See it as something you can use to control your to create your future.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it's saying in the book by The Teachings of Abraham. Ask and it is given. That you use your emotions as a guidance system, and then you determine where you are on the emotional scale, and you use whatever tools work for you to move yourself up the scale or up the ladder. That's exactly what they are saying. And there's so many, they've got like, I think 22 different tools in that book that you can use depending on where you are or what the issue is that you're reacting to. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Can you remember a simple one, Cheryl, that they use? You know, just for example, if you're out and about somewhere, don't have your...
You know what? I remember there's one that's a kind of a wheel, but I don't think it was all that simple. Just give me a minute and I'll look up a simple one.
I like how they called this chapter "Feeling Frequencies," because that's what our emotions are. It's our, like Rooney said, it's a guidance system, but it's our translation of the frequency that we're in. So if we do use it as a guidance system, we can always know how close we are to our true self, or the things that we really want, because everyone has different outcomes that they want in life. So their feelings around different things are going to be different. So our particular emotions tell us how close we are to our true self, which is the self, our ideal self. So just using them as a guidance system and remembering, like Rooney said, don't feel bad. Just know that, okay, I'm not feeling too crash hot right now, so I must be a little bit far away from what I really want in life. So let me get back to feeling better and do things to make yourself feel better. And then you're putting yourself on a different frequency, because now if you're feeling happy, you're reading your frequency again and you're in a better feeling frequency.
I think I can also put it like this. If you are feeling bad, so negative emotions about persons, situations, money, whatever. So it applies to everything. You're feeling bad. So what you can see is the feeling is like a compass. So you're feeling bad, and you are creating the nightmare. You're creating. How can I say? You're creating a nightmare. So you are the creator, and because it's a free feeling frequency, if you stay with that frequency, if you stay with that emotion, you are attracting everything on that same vibration all the time to you. So if you stay with that frequency, stay within that emotion, the negative emotion, you can look around you and the world will become exactly what you are doing. Now imagine you are walking in the woods and then you are feeling good. So if you are feeling good, that means that the whole wood is going to become, the whole bush is going to become a garden of Eden. And if you are negative emotion, etc., so you can choose to be in hell or to be in heaven by your emotions. The emotions are just a guidance, or the emotions are your compass. When you look at your compass and you say, is this what I like? No, I don't like this. I don't want this. I want better emotion. And by doing that, you change. If we didn't have emotion, we would not have been able to control anything. So we should be glad with the emotions, because the emotions are telling us what we are attracting. So the emotion is something. So in summary, emotion is something. It's a prediction of the future. You see, so
Yes,
if
good point.
it's a prediction of the future, so it is. The emotion can be your steering wheel. You see, you are just seeing. I think it is a dashboard. It's telling you, okay, we are heading this way. We are heading this way. If you want positive emotion, positive, and then you're heading another way. So I'm seeing. Do not see the emotions as a reaction. It's not something attached to you. That's another thing. The emotion is not something attached to you. It's something you can detach from it. It's not something I'm always feeling bad. I'm always having this negative emotion. No, it's just guidance.
Well, and it says on page 47, the chapter on take your feelings off automatic pilot. It says many people don't know about the power of good feelings. And so their feelings are reactions or responses to what happens to them. They have put their feelings on automatic pilot instead of deliberately taking charge of them. When something good happens, they feel good. When something bad happens, they feel bad. They don't realize that their feelings are the cause of what is happening to them. So,
Exactly.
Yes, the feelings are the cause. The feelings are the cause.
yeah, because it's what vibration, frequency, or what vibration you're on. You attract what you are. So if you feel good, you're going to attract, because you're feeling good, you're at a higher vibration, you're attracting good. I love that.
I told you, I think a week ago or so, I was in I wrote something about, being in a discotheque and then seeing people and that not judging. You remember? So that has also something to do with the feelings. So if you look at the situation and you can stay neutral to the situation, you will not attract it. So if there is a situation and you can put a feeling, suppose you cannot put a feeling of love into it, but you can at least put a feeling of neutral. I'm neutral to it. I don't hate it. I don't. So if you put a neutral feeling to it, then you are not attracting it. You are not attracting it to you. So when you judge people, you are being judged. When you hate people, you will be hate. Some people will hate you. So if you look at situations in your life and you are neutral to it, you do not judge, you do not put any emotion to it, that is also a possibility where you just, try to be neutral to it. A situation, a person, a negative thing, be neutral to it. Don't attach it to you.
Yeah, turn your mind over to something else positive.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. That's one of the tricks that I was just looking up for an easy practice that was in that book, and one's called virtual reality.
Yep.
And you use it when you are maybe feeling yourself not in a pleasant experience, and you don't want to feel that feeling any longer. And so, what it is that. Let me see what I can say here. Remember, you live in a vibrational universe, and all things are managed by the law of attraction. So, what the virtual reality process is not one where you try to fix something that's broken. It's one where you deliberately activate a sense in your own mind that causes you to offer a vibration matching the scene you have activated. So I think it's pretty long here, but it's like turning things around, so like something that feels, that doesn't feel good. You try and find a way, something about it that is good. And one of the things was, let me see if I can find an example here. It says nothing is more important than feeling good. So that's something that we have been talking about all day long, right? Yeah. Nothing is more important than feeling good. And let's see. Esther once practiced this game while she was driving the big bus for Jerry. She discovered it worked best for her to get into the scene quickly, bring herself to a place of really feeling good and then get out. If she stayed too long, she would get too practical and try to reform people or fix things. So that's
Okay,
interesting.
so yeah, that's good. That makes sense. So trying to see a situation in a positive way, get the sense of it. I like the way they said that, get the sense of it in your mind and then leave it and go off to something else. So you fix that particular topic in your mind and left it in the place of good and then move on to something else.
Exactly. So you don't dwell on it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Napoleon Hill talks about W. Clement Stone, who he worked with towards the end, and he says that W. Clement Stone would never entertain a worry. He said, and if anyone suggested that he had a worry, he would take that as an insult because he knew very well that he had to protect the way he thought. So if he had circumstances around him that weren't to his liking, he would only allow himself to think of them in a positive way because he protected his feelings and his frequency so much that he would not let any situation rattle his cage. So he had his mind in such a way that he could control his emotions so well that he would not let any situation upset him. So that's kind of, I guess, a goal to work towards, getting to that point where you can just control your frequency so well that nothing affects you. And it would get easier and easier because you'd continually be attracting good. And then you would have less and less situations to run you off the rail anyway.
Well, and I think about Eckhart Tolle and the power of now. And, you know, he talks about being and like not thinking all the time. Because sometimes, you know, especially if you're a person who, let's just say you've thought a lot of negative thoughts, and now all of a sudden you're going to try and be a positive person. Well, I mean, it's like trying to change the course of a steamship, you know, big cruise liner. I mean, it's going to be insurmountable. But if you can also train yourself to not think and be, so when you're like, for me, it's like there's certain tasks I may not enjoy doing, but I just don't give thought to them. I just do them. So I, like what Rooney said, I just don't put any emotion towards them and just do the task because I have to do the task. So I have a choice. I can either be neutral. I could find something good about it, but I don't. But I choose to be neutral instead of like complaining about it or stressing about it. I still have to do it. So I'm just making it worse. So that's what I've practiced, is just to work on not thinking and just do when it's something I know I'm not going to be thrilled about. And it works pretty good. And then save your emotions for the good stuff.
Yeah, good point.
One other thing is also, if you have passions like playing music, instrument, listen to music, etc., you could just deliberately put the music on. You see, so you have a bad mood, and a music can help you get in a better mood. Or if you are, playing an instrument, you cannot play the violin. Yeah, you can play the violin and be in a bad mood, but you can play the violin and then it will help you. So what I've seen is, for instance, I go for a swim some. I'm feeling bad and I'm going for a swim, and then 20 minutes by doing the exercise, you clean your mind and you clean all the negative emotions, and you come back as a newborn person. So the thoughts are, what I want to say is, the thoughts are not your ego, because I have to say something related to the thinking now. Your ego is trying to think to let you, fool you that you are your thoughts. So the ego holds on to the negative emotions and say what the people did against you, and your ego wants to. Your ego only survives with negative emotions, also something positive emotions, but your ego is holding you. So your ego makes you believe that you are your emotions and they are attached to you. And when you when you just leave your emotions, you have the choice. You use your higher faculties to choose your emotions, to choose new emotions. Then your ego cannot survive anymore, you see? And the emotions are not you. You can choose love emotion instead of feeling bad all the time. By choosing that, you create your life. So every time you have a negative emotion, you want to dwell in that negative emotion, just think about you are creating your future.
One other thing that I've been trying too is like with having a task that I have to do for work or something that that doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to do it. I'm not happy about doing it. I try to remember that it's my obligation. It's where I live or where I am right now, and I am more than filling my space or my place by doing my job to the best of my ability. And by doing that, it's gonna move me forward into the place that I want to be. So I don't feel bad about it. I feel like that's what Wallace told me to do.
I like that.
I got to do this job so that I can feel more than my space.
Yeah, and it becomes a positive thing then.
Yeah.
Another word is choosing your words. The words, so the thoughts and the words are linked together. Thoughts, words, and emotions can be linked together. So if you say like, I hate this person, I hate this situation, I don't love this situation, you see, all the negative things you put in your mouth become thoughts, or so the more negative things you put in your mind, the more negative things you write down, the more negative things you think. So one of the things is I realized that probably I need to delete some friends of Facebook again. You see, so just delete them, because every time you say something negative, they are in the lower vibration and they're going to, comment negatively. And when they comment, they trigger you to, okay, now I need to say something. I need to defend myself, or I need to say something. So the more what I want to say is, the more you do not go on Facebook and talk to negative people, or react on negative people, or say negative words on people, judge situations, the better the better you have room for love. You see, because I've seen that it is very easy to also I for instance, for Curacao, I want my island to be good, etc. But the more negative things I put on Facebook, the more negative people I attract, and then the whole conversation is going to be about negativity. So another thing is, choose your words wisely and say what you check what you are saying, what conversations you are talking with what people.
Yeah.
All right. I remember one more exercise from Abraham, mixture of gratitude and saying good words. She says, go out there and start saying, you're my favorite street, you're my favorite tree, you're my favorite, like whatever you see. And I also do this, and it helps really to change the feeling and stay in that mood. Like 15 minutes of like seeing anything, like people and shops, anything.
Yeah, very good.
So I have a question. On page 51, I don't understand this part where he's talking about, or she's talking about not making a connection when you complain to a store person, and then a few hours later you receive a call complaining that your dog is barking, or you're not making a connection when you stop to help someone who's dropped something in the street, and then 10 minutes later you get a parking space right outside the supermarket door. I didn't understand that. Like but not making a connection. Can someone explain that part, those paragraphs to me?
I think she's talking about how before you learn this philosophy or this truth that what you're putting out, you get back. You don't make that connection. You don't realize that that's what you're doing to yourself until you understand. And when you, if you've been in a negative frequency for a while and then negative things start to happen, you make that connection. You go, I know why this is happening to me. And the opposite way, if you've been really good and you've been on a really high emotional frequency, you know, all day, and things just keep escalating, getting better and better, and synchronicities start happening. You're bumping into people that you really needed this person to get this next stage of your business operating, and you go, I know why this is happening. You make the connection, whereas the layman who doesn't know any of this doesn't make the connection. And the examples that she's using there are just hypothetical, like that. It may not happen like that. It may happen in different ways, right. But it's just the point that she's making. But actually, the one with the food, I've heard that said by a lot of people, that what you think about and the frequency that you're in while you're eating actually affects the frequency of the food and the way that it's digested. So that's why it's been a tradition throughout the ages to say a blessing over the food before you eat, or say grace. A lot of people use different terms to put yourself in a good frequency, and the food as well, so it's assimilated into the body nicely.
Ah, thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the way it's explained here, my interpretation, you know, it was like, well, there is a connection between them. But, you know, because then at the very end she says, in every circumstance and moment of your life, you are receiving what you have given, whether you make the connection or not. So it's basically whether you make the connection and you're connecting the dots.
Yeah, it's just really that you're realizing that's
yeah, okay. Because to me it's like I read it like not that way at all. It's like, well, yeah, you are connecting. I get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's one part, the quote by Jerry Spinelli: live today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, just today. Inhabit your moments. Don't let them out to tomorrow. That just made me think of live in the now, you know, be in the room of love now. So that just reminded me of Rooney.
Yeah.
He's always talking about being now.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't rent them out to tomorrow. So you're taking away from tomorrow the more you worry today, because that's what you're going to be attracting to your life tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And isn't it comforting and just so simple that all you have to do is be in a positive feeling, positive vibration at least 51% of the time. So you don't have to be like worrying that, you know, oh shit, I can't be in a bad mood ever, right?
I screwed up my day.
Yeah, isn't that just awesome?
Yep.
That, you know, you just have to.
You just think like the day is not over yet. Maybe I can get to 51%.
Yeah, I still got 9 more hours to turn this around.
I can't go to bed yet.
Or in the morning, I mean, from 8 to 10, you just get over the 51%, then you're done, you see? The only thing you need to do is get over the 51%, then your day is done.
Oh, that's so good, Rudy.
I think that's what she meant. May she not hear this call.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, Cheryl, I liked what you said about when you woke up, and I forget exactly how you said it. Like, what do I want this day to look like? I really like that because, you know, being a trader, we were just talking about this last night, and how often in the mornings I wake up and there's like trepidation, and I'm just kind of not feeling, you know, I'm a little doubtful, whatever. So today I woke up with, you know, thinking about my goal, listening to my affirmations. I didn't write them out. I recorded them and I listened to them. And, but I liked, you know, so it went better. But I like this too, is when I wake up, it's like, setting my kind of like, what are my expectations for today? So I'm going to do that tomorrow because I like that. I think that's going to, because I'm trying to figure out what I can do my morning routine to get me in a really good place before I come down and trade.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even have anything really specific in mind. It just came to me that I want to be happy and excited. And that's all I had to do was just think that. I wanted to be happy and excited, and I felt it.
The universe does respond. Like, I'm having issues with a foot, and so I went to the doctor yesterday, and she said, I'm going to go to the podiatrist, but she says, try to wear shoes that have some good arch support. And I remember years ago I bought these generic orthotic supports, and I know what they look like, and I went to the usual places, and they weren't in the hallway closet, neither of the hallway closets, they weren't in my bedroom closet, and I was just like, looked again, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it out to the universe. And then I'm sitting on the couch, and I look over at this, I have a little coffee table beside or a little end table beside my chair, and it's like, I know where they are, and the universe answered.
Yep.
Because instead of being frustrated by it, it's like, you know what? The universe will tell me, and they'll show up. And sure enough, they did.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went, thank you, angels, and that was the end of that. And I thought, that's just wonderful. Simple example, but it works.
I think the emotions. One thing with the emotions is also it's living from inside out. So
yep.
Whatever you, I have said this before. Your senses, your five senses. There is also the sixth sense, of course. You can listen to the sixth sense, and then your five senses, what they're telling you about the situation. If it causes your pain, or if it causes your fear, the two emotions, fear and love. If your five senses tell you, okay, this is fear, this is bad, feel bad, then what you can do is just see that as an option. You say like, okay, this is what the world is telling me, but does this have to be true? This is not real. You see, I'm not saying don't deny it, but you take your senses lightly, because normally the world teaches you to just react immediately on what is happening outside. This is a situation, you see something, you hear something, etc. You immediately have an emotion, attach an emotion to it. So this is telling me also, okay, you are constantly creating this thing, and if you are feeling good, love, then you create a great life. And if there is a negative situation in your world, then do not put hate on it. Do not react to it negatively, because then you will create another situation. You see? So when you are creating a lot of things, of course, certain situations, negative situations can still come to you, but do not attach any feeling to them. Do not attach any words to them. Don't pay attention to them, and then keep on creating the positive thing, the positive life. You are constantly creating, and that's what your emotions are telling you. You're constantly creating, and if you choose positive emotions, then you will create another life.
Isn't it funny? The next chapter is called The Power in Creation. I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yeah. When on page 54, she's talking about once you have reached the tipping point, the love that comes back to you then multiplies itself by attracting more love through the law of attraction. And I can't remember where I read it, but they were talking about if you go and do something for someone else out of your way to help them and make them feel good, and then they then go and pass that feeling on to someone else and make them feel good, and then they go and pass that on to someone else, it gets multiplied, and so you get all of those compounded results come back to you. So the more you go out of your way to do things, rather than just thinking about or in addition to just thinking about the feelings and the emotions that you're in, but going out of your way to help other people to be in good emotions, creates a compounding result that causes the universe to bring back to you good things multiplied rather than just singularly through your own emotions, but helping other people with their emotions.
I like that.
And of course that makes you feel good just by doing it in the first place, doesn't it?
Yep.
So sometimes when you are receiving a lot of positive things coming into your life, it can be because you helped other people, and those people helped other people, and those people helped other people. And sometimes when you are receiving a lot of, you have a bad day, yeah? Everything is bad in your life. That can come because you did something bad to other people, and they projected that frequency on other people who projected it on other people, and now it's getting to you all the time.
Yeah.
So this is also what is karma. Karma is about, eh?
Yeah, it's like a ripple effect. If you make one person feel bad, they're going to go off on a grumpy mood and make someone else feel bad, and they're going to make someone else feel bad, and it's all going to come back to you because you were the instigator of it. That's what Napoleon Hill was talking about when he said, if you've got a really stressful problem that you just can't work out, he said, go and help someone with an even worse problem to sort their problem out, and by magic, the way he puts it was it seems to unlock some cell in your mind to be able to solve your own problem. So this is the same concept of helping someone else feel good, then comes back to you. So what you're putting out comes back. So help someone else solve their problem, and you'll be able to solve your problem.
I have a question to you, Ale. What can I say? How do you practice that in day-to-day life? Like really shutting down the outside world and really focusing on the positive emotions and your vision and your dreams. Do you really take time to do that more and more since you are reading these books?
Yeah, I do it by only seeing the good. I only see the good in everything, and that's what I've been training myself to do. So, when I'm in the middle of the day, and I've like this 2 weeks, we've got school holidays, so I've got 7 children every day out on excursions, so it can get a little bit hectic. So I'm not thinking about my vision, but I'm getting into the mode. I love being around kids because they've always got good energy. Getting into the mode of the fun of it rather than focusing on safety issues that could happen, or someone who's misbehaving, or the squabbles that they're having in between themselves. But getting into the mode of, we're having so much fun, we're going out, we're doing this, we're getting together, we're having a laugh. I just always cause myself to be on the positive thinking side of things, and using my perception to always get the positive view of what's going on around me, rather than allowing myself to think about any bad situations that could happen, or thinking badly about things that are happening. I just try and see the good side of things.
Well, the magic, the 28-day practice. I haven't done it every day, to be honest, but the one thing that I really like was like on day 2 where they, he said, find like your magic rock. And then when you go to bed at night, I love this because he says basically, or what she says is, when you're holding on to your rock, you basically say, what am I the most grateful for today? And what I've been noticing, because I do that at night now, is like I go out throughout the day. It's like, oh, is this what I'm going to be the most grateful for? So I'm looking for what is it that I'm going to be the most grateful for. So it just puts me in a grateful mood, or in a better mood, because I'm looking for the good. And I just love that exercise because it's helped me to just be more positive throughout the day, or look for the good and not dwell on anything that happens.
Yeah. Is that just before you go to sleep, that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I found rock. My little magic rock in the house. I found one, a river rock. Here I was eyeing the neighbors, and I had a pot full of them. My husband's like, "You got a bunch of them there?" I'm like, and I found this beautiful black one, and it's kind of shaped to me. It reminds me of Australia, with a little. It's black. It's the shape of it's black, and it's black, and it's got kind of like a golden tan streak through it.
Oh,
So,
nice.
anyways, I love it, and so I hold it every night. And, it's like, so and it helps me go through my day of all the things that kind of happened. And it's like, what is it that I'm the most grateful about, So
I keep losing mine in the bed, and then I have to go find another.
What kind of bed do you have? It's like, this bed's getting lumpy.
I just gets lost in all the covers.
My husband found one that it's more like, it looks like an Indian head, so that's why he picks it. But, he has it on the dresser across the room, so I just hand him mine, and he holds it, and, he won't share what he's most grateful for, and that's fine. And so I've got him doing it too. And I just, like I said, I just find it makes the whole day better because I'm looking for, is this what I'm going to be the most grateful for? So it's a neat exercise.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and it makes it fun. Makes life fun.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing about doing things before you go to sleep too is because your subconscious mind doesn't go to sleep when you go to sleep. You need to leave it some positive meat to play with while you're sleeping. So you want the last things that you're thinking about just before you drop off to sleep to be about more positive things for one, but perhaps the goals that you're trying to achieve so it can work on that while you're asleep.
Yeah, give it something to work on, some problems to solve.
Yeah.
Yep. And Peggy McCall said that, and I think she got this from Wayne Dyer. She said that right before the last 5 minutes, she goes through where I've achieved my goal. How do I feel?
Yeah.
Whatever that big goal is, and how do I feel? And she said, and the reason she said she does it is because I think it was from Wayne Dyer that she said 65% of the time what you focus on comes to fruition. So she's like, that's good enough for me. So that's what she does before she goes to bed. My goal's achieved. How do I feel? And just feels that light, I've got my goal and how wonderful her life is as she drifts off to sleep. That's another neat one.
Yeah, Neville Goddard says the same thing in one of his little articles, The Feeling is the Secret. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
He says huge thing. The last thing you think about before you go to sleep is the biggest thing that you can do, really, to instruct your subconscious mind, and that's what you will actually play out the following day. Because once the subconscious mind is programmed, when you wake up in the morning the next day, that's what you'll be playing out, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I think also, Nicole, the feeling, you can think, and you can think a lot about your vision. But when you feel your vision, or when you feel the love of your vision, feeling that your vision has been accomplished, that is a different story.
Yeah.
So you cannot manifest if you do not have attached feeling to it. So you need to attach positive feelings to it. Love, the highest feeling is love. When you attach love to it, then you can manifest it. So only thinking about your vision, I was doing that first, thinking about my vision and thinking about it, imagining about it. But when you imagine it, you paint the picture about your vision. That is one thing. But when you feel it, like you are really happening, then you are becoming it. So when you are feeling it, then you become it.
Yeah, and each feeling has its own signature vibration. So as you're going through, and I run it like a movie, I go into the imagination of my ideal life and I move around and do things. So I try to experience the actual feelings that each of those activities will give me, rather than just saying I'll just feel love and feel happy towards my whole image. What am I feeling when I'm feeding the horses? What am I feeling when I'm cooking in my big kitchen? What am I feeling when I have guests over sitting on my big front veranda, talking to them about how we've helped each other to accomplish our lives? What are the different feelings that are happening for me as I'm going through and doing all of these different things? And then I get into the vicinity of those specific signature feelings of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish with what I'm doing, because in the end it's all about how it's going to make you feel. It's not the things, it's not the house, it's not the car, it's not the horse, it's the feelings that they're going to give you when you get there.
Yeah. And I think the physical thing, what I realized also is the physical thing. Yeah? When you want something, you want money, you want more money. Why do you want more money? You see, so what is the feeling attached to that money? Most of the time, it is not that feeling. It is not the house. It is not the partner. It is this, what you want the self-realization. You want, your desire is more to feel something. But when you attach that feeling, or when you discover the feeling behind it, that is also going to help you. And hopefully it helps you into action, because when you're feeling empowered, then you feel the power to take some action.
And that's a good point too. For two different people who want to accumulate a lot of money, they may have two completely different motives. One might be for power and prominence, and the other one might be to help the poor. And those two people are going to have completely different feelings behind their purpose. So they need to match up their individual feelings to get the money. The one who's wanting it for the poor, there's no point them trying to take on the feeling of being powerful and prominent, because that's not what they want the money for.
Yep. Well, and Rhonda says, when you do your gratitude, not only do you say what you're, happy and grateful for, but why?
Yes.
And then give thanks to it. And I think answering that why is really important. It's like, why do I want that money, or why do I want that big house, or why do I want, and it, it helps you get down to the feeling or why it's important.
Yeah. And then she asks you to feel it, doesn't she? Like to write it down, then write down why, and then feel the why. And that's the important bit. And you can't get to that unless you write down the why.
Yeah. And that was her day one, where you write out the 7 things you're grateful for and why. And it's got me thinking when I get when I'm grateful for something, I'll ask why? I mean, it's one thing to just say it, but it's like, am I truly, grateful for it?
Yeah, and then when you write that down, and then you feel like you become even more grateful, because you're really feeling it, and you're thinking to yourself, that really is such a wonderful thing, and you appreciate it even more by doing that exercise.
Yep. Good lesson.
Yeah. He says on the last page, so many people don't live for today. They're completely consumed with the future, and yet it's how we live today, Rooney. We always think of you when we say this. That creates our future.
Now.
Yep. It's what you feel today that matters, because it's the only thing that determines your future.
Yep.
There is only today. Tomorrow will be another today.
Yeah.
It's only the now.
Tomorrow doesn't exist.
Right. Only now exists.
Yeah.
Etc.
That's it.
I love how you say it. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I know there's a person in my husband's life that he works with that, he wakes up some days and he's in a bad mood, and he wants to stay in that bad mood. And then he tries to get to bring my husband down. And years ago, there was an intuitive that we knew who just said to my husband, like, you're going to need to shield yourself. You know, like basically respond, don't react to this person, don't absorb their energy. You know, be the observer and just, you know, don't take it on. And, you know, sometimes what he would do when he lived up here is that he would get my husband like upset, and then he'd feel better. It's like, okay, I've passed on this negative crap, now it's yours. And he'd feel better. And then my husband would be in a bad mood, you know. It was like, so he's worked at shielding and observing. Like
that's the epitome of misery loves company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted to pass on the misery.
It is also like this. It is people can be they can give love, and then they have abundance of love and they give love. Yeah? And then people, when you are in a negative emotion of fear, you are like a black hole. You see, so like the black holes, you are sucking energy of your environment because you don't have energy yourself. You are at a lower vibration, and everybody wants to get a higher vibration. So the only way to get a higher vibration is by getting your energy. You see, I'm using your energy to make me feel good. So I'm a black hole, and I'm just sucking all the energy. I don't have any energy, and I'm using your energy. So that's what's happening with your husband. Those people, they are negative, and they are coming there, and I'm saying, okay, how can I get that energy of that man? And
yeah, they're just a big succubus.
And then they feel very good afterwards, because afterwards that means that they suck all the energy. So there was one person, and at work, and then the person would come all the time to me, my desk, and after the 1 hour of talking, I would feel bad. Every time I would feel bad, and I have a lot of energy, but every time I would feel bad. Then I realized, okay, this person is like how do you call it? Like a vampire, an energy vampire.
Yeah.
So the person is just miserable and comes to me and wants my energy. So now what I do is, with those kind of person, I love them. You see, I don't say like, okay, you want my energy, I'm going to hate you. I'm just saying, okay, you want an energy, I'm going to give you one energy, but if I'm don't have energy anymore, or if I don't want this anymore, I just turn away and I go. See? Don't let them take your energy.
Remember, Rooney, what you say about abundance? There is abundance. You take away abundance, and there's more abundance. Same with energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them some energy. Volunteer some energy. Give them love, and there's abundance of more for you to.
Yeah.
For what you need.
And you don't, like you said, when you live from within instead of outside in or inside out. You know, before you were living from the outside in, because a person would come and you would react to their energy and you would be negative. But now that we're like creative instead of competitive, or we're living from the inside out, or we're responding, I mean, there are all different ways of saying the same thing. Now when someone's like negative, you know, you like either send them blessings or whatever, but you're not living unconsciously. You're aware of it, and you know you've shielded yourself to some degree, because we're living from the inside out.
Yeah, and one of the things that Bob, you remember the 3 things that Bob told, what's her name? I've forgotten for a second. His partner, business partner. Sandy, yeah, she approached him and asked what are 3 things I can do each day to help myself, and this is where he came up with the gratitude and sending love to people who arc you, I guess.
Yep.
And that is an awesome way to make yourself feel better and to get yourself in a better vibration, by sending love to people who bring you down, make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one observation. Huh? We are sitting here, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and we are moving our vibration upwards. What I've realized is that you have to involve, not you don't have to, but it is good to involve your inner circle. So it could be your husband, your wife, or it is good to involve the people around you in there, because, and your children also, because otherwise what is happening is that you are changing at a fast pace, and then the person inside your love would just wake up and see that you are a totally different person. So if you love that person, it is good to involve the person into what you are doing, into what your new thoughts and your new ideas, etc. You see, because otherwise the person can get out of your life, because you are changing. I realize for myself, I talk with my wife, but I don't talk all the time with my wife about the reading, etc. And what is happening is you are changing and we are changing very fast, and we are moving our vibration very fast, and then you're actually changing your mind. So if you want these people in your life right now, you wanted them to stay in your life, it is good that they also understand what is happening, and that they raise their vibration. Otherwise, you're going to lose them.
That's very true.
Yep.
It's very true.
Yeah, my husband and I actually last night, we just read chapters 1 and 2 of The Science of Getting Rich, because we're doing the Bob Proctor coaching, but, you know, I think he's doing it more kicking and screaming. So it's been, you know, a bit of something that we've been working through, you know, with respect to our trading. And, you know, we're working as a team. And I think when we are on the same page, when we read this stuff, when we're encouraging each other, because sometimes, you know, when I explain what we've read, he may not take it the right way because he hasn't listened. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm glad that it's like, let's turn the TV off and let's go in the living room and let's read a chapter and let's discuss it, or let's listen to the recording from Bob, or listen to one of these calls and, you know, to discuss. And it, you know, makes you more positive. And that's what I want for him. Whether he wants it or not.
That's the question.
You know, he's not always a willing participant.
Yeah, you can lead a horse to water.
Yeah, but I can't stick his head underwater and make him drink.
Not legally.
No, we were just talking about it this morning, and he, you know, I think ego gets in the way, and you know, it was kind of funny because we just talked about it, because I, you know, that's what I sense. It's his ego, and it's like, you know, Bob says, you know, like the one guy, I love it when Bob, I forget what the guy's name was, said to Bob that you're the most miserable person I know. And I loved it because Bob was always complaining and what have you. And the guy basically told Bob, like, you know, what you're doing isn't working. So why don't you do what I, you know, do exactly what I say, unless you can prove to me that I'm lying. So Bob, you know, did. So that's why I said to my husband, it's like, you know, why don't you, you know, we have these tools available to us. You know, we say our goals, our affirmations, our visualizing, gratitude, you know, because we want to change our subconscious mind. Because, you know, we have some, you know, he has one specific bad habit with respect to his trading. And, you know, I said, you know, I think you rely too much on the ego and your will that I'll change. It's like, but there's a reason why you keep doing it for several years, you know, so why don't you try? We've paid for Bob. Why don't you try doing his steps? You know, like just try it. So instead of listening to me, it's like, okay, let's get back to the lessons and maybe let Bob tell him to do the stuff. Because it can be a little frustrating at times, but then it's like, you know, it's his journey. I can only focus on myself. I can lead him to water, like you said, and then it's up to him.
Yeah. Does he understand about the frequencies? about vibration?
He does. But and I've been there where, like, I realized I went through boxes the other day, and I've got like 4 of Abraham's books that I've read like halfway through each one of them because I can tell I got Post-its in them. But it's like intellectually, with the coaching and being involved with you guys, it's like there's that intellectual knowledge, but then there's that knowing, the understanding through application.
Yeah, that's where it happens.
Yeah, and that's where, when I look back at things that I had underlined, it's just like, wow, I've got the right things underlined, but it just, it just didn't click because I read it and I was on. I didn't study it. So that's kind of the stage he's at. And I think the more he sees my mindset changing, the more he might be willing to change his mindset. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I'd share with him what Rooney just said about the people around you and their frequencies change, and that you attract people in your life that have the same frequencies. Get him thinking.
Yeah, good point. I'd like him to actually get on these calls. That's why he said it. Go join us with the calls. So he might.
Yeah, I think
I have to go. I have to leave now, but I wish you all the best. A lot of love.
Thanks, Rooney.
Thanks, Rooney. Sending love your way.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I have to go in a minute as well. I have to take my dog somewhere before I start, but I just wanted to point out one of Neville Goddard's quotes in here. On page 48, he says, do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. So for people, if you're helping them, or for yourself, if you've made mistakes in the past, or if you have regrets from the past that you feel bad about, just know that now that you've moved forward and now that you've placed yourself in a new vibration, that they don't exist anymore. And if you keep thinking about them and feeling bad about them and, considering them or doing anything about them at all, you reinfect yourself with that vibration. So if you have anything in your past that you've done or that has happened to you even, just let it go and just keep moving forward, because when you think about it, you reignite that frequency within you and then you carry it forward with you rather than leaving it behind where it needs to stay.
I have to say that all these teachings, that's one of the major things that it's helped me with, is moving past my failures and my mistakes. I totally have let those go, and I would not have done it without these teachings. I know that.
That's brilliant.
And when I do, if I end up finding myself going back to something, I just give thanks for the growth. That's and try to get back to something positive. And I love the quote: "Win or learn, never lose." So there was a lesson that I learned from a past experience that's made me who I am today, that's led me to where I am today and move forward.
Yeah, that's good, because then you've changed the frequency of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often say to myself, there was a lesson to be learned, and I just wasn't learning it. So things just kept happening over and over and over until I finally learned it, and now I have.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, everyone. Well, everyone have a great week.
You too.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Cheryl, change those sheets and find those rocks.
The princess and the pea.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier when you were saying it. I was thinking it just sounds like the princess and the pea.
No, I did find my rock, but I did have to get a substitute.
That was so cute. All right. Have a good week, everyone. We'll see whoever on Saturday.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.